Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about Pooh Shiesty. Now, Pooh Shiesty's situation is getting interesting to say the least, man. Now, we've been talking about Pooh Shiesty a lot lately because of his whole situation that went down in Miami during Memorial Day weekend, man. So Pooh Shiesty, for those of you who don't know, is currently incarcerated in Miami-Dade County, right? He was getting, man, it looked like he had a good look coming his way because this week, the key witness in the situation, the alleged victim in the shooting situation, actually recanted his statement and said that Pooh Shiesty was pretty much clear of any wrongdoing, and he also said he didn't want to be contacted or talked to anymore by anybody involved in law enforcement or otherwise. So this seemed like the way for Pooh Shiesty to finally get some bail, finally get the bond, be able to get back out here to get this bread because Back in Blood is still heating up the charts, right? Well, yesterday, Pooh Shiesty's attorneys were in court trying to argue on his behalf, and things might have just got worse, like 10 times worse. Now, before we get to the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this Pooh Shiesty situation just a little bit, man. Now, I could use several sources for this, right? But I think the best sources to use is right now for this issue is All Hip Hop, man. They did a real good play-by-play in their report. Now, the headline says this: Pooh Shiesty to stay locked up and his legal issues get worse. Now, stop right there. That tells you a lot already. Pooh Shiesty his bond got denied. Boom. Pooh Shiesty's legal situation got worse. Boom. Now, you might be asking, how in the world could it get worse, man? Now, I know I talked about it getting worse in the intro, but I didn't do its due diligence, man. Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says, earlier this week, Pooh Shiesty had a glimmer of hope in getting out of jail over a shooting, but a federal judge threw cold water on his plans. Yes, you just heard that, a federal judge. Now, it continues by saying, earlier this week, it seemed as though rapper Pooh Shiesty was going to catch a break over a shooting inside of King Diamond nightclub in Miami, right? So King of Diamonds is a famous nightclub in Miami. Pooh Shiesty was supposed to be there Memorial Day weekend. He showed up. He had his show. Allegedly, somebody took or knocked $40,000 out of his pocket, and that's when all the madness ensued. That's when somebody allegedly got shot. That's when all of these things went crazy, right? Pooh Shiesty's name was then again in the headlines, and he ended up turning himself in on June 8th to authorities in Miami, man. Now, the story continues by saying this. Footage of the rapper born Lontrell Williams walking through the club with his gun out went viral and ended up surrendering 2 weeks later after being charged with aggravated assault and battery. So everybody has seen the video, and I might run a loop right here, of Pooh Shiesty allegedly walking through the club with the blicky out, man, and then putting it back up. Now, the story about why it came out, when it went back in, or if Pooh Shiesty even used it, has been complicated due to the key witness in this situation coming out recently and recanting his statement. Now, the story continues by saying this. It says, but the security guard in question revealed he was under the influence of powerful narcotic when he was shot and couldn't remember who pulled the trigger. So they're saying that basically this is the story that we ran a couple of days ago where the witness recanted his statement and he was hazy about the details because of whatever he was under the influence of at the hospital, he said. You know, which sounds reasonable, man. In the last video, I shot Pooh Shiesty a whole lot of bail. And it continues by saying this. The bombshell revelation was supposed to work in Pooh Shiesty's favor and at least get him out of Miami jail, where he is being held without bond. Stop right there. Now, a lot of people talked about the fact that when Pooh Shiesty showed up to court, he had on this weird suit, man. So I guess in Florida, they've got this suit. It's called the turtle shell or whatever. And people were thinking the worst about Pooh Shiesty because of that. I know that's a little off the subject, but there's been no indications in any of these reports that what people were believing about Pooh Shiesty is in any way true. Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man, and I know you enjoying this video, but make sure you go and you follow me on social media platforms like Instagram, and also go to my Twitter page and make sure you hit that follow button there so you can get the latest and greatest updates of when I'm dropping my videos. And man, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button so we can spread this video around, and we trying to get 2,000 likes, so run them likes up. All right. Now, this is where the story takes a wild turn. All right. So it continues by saying, however, yesterday, during a hearing, the rap star's legal problems only got worse. Despite the security guard recanting his statement to police, a judge decided to keep Pooh Shiesty locked up without bond. Prosecutors want to keep him behind bars as they investigate Frivin Dor. Now, Frivin Dor, for those of you who don't know, is the wounded security guard. It's going to say it's the wounded security guard, and why he decided to stop cooperating with authorities. Now, there was a lot of theories about this. Why in the world did he come forward with Pooh Shiesty's attorneys and recant his statement in an official statement and just say that Pooh Shiesty had nothing to do with it and he didn't want to have anything to do with this case? A lot of people's antennas went up, a lot of conspiracies. I'm not going to give them any light, but man, it was odd to say the least, man, when there was so much evidence in previous reports against Pooh Shiesty saying that he was the culprit in this situation, allegedly, right? Now, it says, prosecutors say there may have been pressure put on Durk to recant his statement. Now, that was one of the rumors. People were saying, hey, man, did Gucci Mane send the goons down there to talk to dude? And even though that's funny to joke about, it's highly unlikely because, I mean, yes, Pooh Shiesty is an artist under Gucci Mane's label. Yes, Pooh Shiesty makes a lot of money for his label 1017, but nobody's going to risk their freedom in order to make sure they secure the bag when it's this visible and this many people are following the case. Now, I will say crazier things have happened before, but man, it's highly unlikely. You know what I mean? Now, the story continues by saying this, man. It says, and prosecutors revealed they were considering charging Pooh Shiesty with federal gun violations over a wild shootout last October in Bal Harbour, Florida. Now, that's the Bay Harbor Island shooting that he was implicated in as well. You saw the videotape with Pooh Shiesty there slightly, and I don't see where Pooh Shiesty did anything illegal in that, but like I said, I'm not an attorney, neither am I the prosecutor in this case, and they obviously feel like they have something, right? Now, the story concludes with a couple of facts, man, that are really damaging to Pooh Shiesty and his legal team here. It says the rapper was involved in a drug deal that went bad and resulted in gunfire, which sent 2 men to the hospital, right? Now, it finally says this. It says, according to the Miami Herald, the U.S. Attorney's Office has placed a federal detainer on Pooh Shiesty, which means charges are likely pending against the rapper over the shooting. And that right there is self-explanatory. So instead of the witness recanting his statement, helping Pooh Shiesty's case, this thing has made everything 10 times worse. So now he's looking at federal charges for the shooting and also federal charges for the guns in the Bay Harbor Island shooting. And he's got the U.S. Attorney's Office looking into his case even harder to see if there was any type of wrongdoing that led to the witness recanting their statement. I mean, man, this is probably some of the worst news Pooh Shiesty could have ever got, you know what I mean? Now, his attorney ends the story by saying this. He says, we have been in communication with the U.S. Attorney's Office, and we believe they have a federal detainer on him and are likely to file federal charges. That doesn't change our position as to his 100% innocence in both state and federal matters. And that was his defense attorney, one of the members. He's got 2 attorneys that are working together, and that was one of them. And that's his take on the situation as it's developing in this. You know what I mean? It's not looking good for Pooh Shiesty, you feel me? And this ain't good news at all. So I don't know, man. Hopefully there was no wrongdoing on their parts. I doubt there was. The witness, he might have just came up and just really came to the realization that, hey, man, Pooh Shiesty didn't shoot me or anything like that. And it is what it is, man. I'm shooting Pooh Shiesty a lot of bail here. I know, man. But I hate to see him locked up and in this situation. Even though, man, if he did wrongdoing, it is what it is, man. Now, with that, this has been your boy. What do you guys think? Do you think that Pooh Shiesty's situation is really, man, him trying to outsmart the system or his team trying to outsmart the system and that backfiring on them? Or do you feel like, man, they're just digging into Pooh Shiesty's situation to get him up out of this rap game? And since he's a rapper, he's an easy person to target. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.